Your digestive system provides nourishment and energy to your body 24 hours a day. Each part of this system and its organs play a critical role in the way you function and feel. When something goes wrong here, you need expert attention. The Center for Digestive and Liver Diseases is one of KRCG TV's leading medical practices. We specialize in clinical research and treatments for digestive problems and related diseases. Dr. Glenn Gordon and his team provide the experience and knowledge you can trust. This video will introduce you to our services and the quality care we offer you.
The inflammatory bowel disease is really a specialized care. GI in general, most practicing gastroenterologists, about 40% of their patients have an irritable bowel syndrome, which is IBS, of which there's two types, diarrhea and constipation predominant, and there's an alternating type that alternate back and forth between diarrhea and constipation. When you get inflammatory bowel disease, you have two types, Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Crohn's disease can evolve anywhere in the GI tract, from the mouth all the way down to the anus or the very end of the GI tract. And sores and ulcers are based on what we call autoimmunity, meaning that your body reacts against itself for whatever reason. And as it doesn't like what it sees, and you start getting this cascade of events that leads to inflammation, ulceration, sores, and the like. Ulcerative colitis basically confines itself only to the colon, so there is technically a cure. You can take out your colon, but the problem, of course, there is you can get secondary inflammation of the remaining parts of the GI tract. Inflammatory bowel disease really is not just involving the GI tract, it involves other outside the GI tract as well. I've been practicing gastroenterologist since 1985, trained at the University of Chicago, one of the world meccas for inflammatory bowel disease. We can call this IBD in fellowship training. IBD specialists it takes a special type of person in training because it's a engagement lifelong for a chronic disease that sometimes has remissions and relapses. So you're in for the long haul. You're not in for a short, 10-minute visit. You always want to treat the patients the way you want to be treated. Approach to patients is supposed to be compassionate and understanding. And every new patient that we see, we spend an hour and a half to 2 hours in an intake. We have a patient questionnaire we fill out. We go through trying to learn everything we can in terms of not just the medicine, but also personal background and things that would help in treating you as a whole. And that's very important. How we deal with our patients is that they're our partners in taking care of themselves.
This clinical trial with Dr. Gordon is very much different than where I've gone before to specialists. There is an entire team that works with you. They're all checking what they're doing, checking out everything about you and testing everything. They pay attention and they listen to you. They look you in the eye. They act like they have all the time in the world to really find out exactly everything about you, document it, check it, double check it. It's just amazing.
In our center, we're very unique. We have a private practice, as well as research protocols that we do. Patients have options of treatment. Sometimes when they come to our office, we actually will review with the patient what the traditional normal therapy is, which is sometimes drugs that are available out on the market right now. But if there's any clinical trials that they may be eligible for, we'll let them know that too. It's the patient's choice if they want to get into a clinical trial. There is no cost to the patient to be in a clinical trial. We find a lot of patients want to be in clinical trials for a number of reasons. We find some have no insurance. We find some that feel like their normal medication that they're paying for their condition is too expensive, or they have high out-of-pocket costs or high deductibles. So there's many reasons why people get into clinical trials. We can make no promises with clinical trials because when people get in, they could have a placebo or real active test article. With research, when they get into the trial, we're able to treat the condition they have. They know exactly what happens in a clinical trial. So on informed consent, they have page by page that tells them what to expect, what we're going to do at the visits. Regularly on the majority of the studies, we actually will do lab testing, sometimes urine testing, sometimes an EKG, sometimes a colonoscopy. It depends on each protocol. Every protocol is different. So most of the time in our IBD trials, if it's required by protocol, it is free to the patient.
I first went to go see a specialist where she put me through a bunch of tests, but then told me that there was nothing that was going to help me. I took several different drugs that were on the market, and nothing helped. And so when I met Dr. Gordon through his speech, him and Brenda were telling me about the new research drug and that I should try it out. And so I called him up and made an appointment and started taking the research medication.
The majority of our trials are with inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's and ulcerative colitis, but we do have a variety that come forth. We've even had gout trials in the past, so patients just need to call us and ask us what we have available, because we'll at least help direct them and tell them what we have, or maybe help them find a site that might be doing a clinical trial that they're interested in.
Our whole philosophy is different. We're very patient-oriented. We do things, they have to be participating in their care, which they're not used to doing. The intake portion is the longest visit because you want to get every information you can on the patient so we can help figure each other out a little bit better. History is 80–90% of a doctor's visit. And if you can cubbyhole that to 10–15 minutes like most practices do, you're missing 90% of the story. And what we do different, that's key difference, is we spend more than that. That 90% is 90% for us. And that's how we get to know you and develop these relationships that take care of patients better. That's the key difference in our practice.
Take care of your digestive health, starting today. Visit this website to learn more about our services and research opportunities. Ask your doctor about us. Call 573-581-7196 or 800-GUT-ACHE to schedule an appointment. The Center for Digestive and Liver Diseases. Learn, communicate, connect.